안녕하세요 여러분, 엠사입니다. Hi everyone, Margarita here, and I will be your K-drama queen for today. The drama we're reviewing today is, drumroll, My Country, the New Age. Is that what it's called in English? It's 나의 나라 in Korean. And it is a historical Korean drama, which is actually available on Netflix, which totally blew my mind. And no, I'm not sponsored by Netflix, but yes, if you want to sponsor me, Netflix, just call me. But anyhow, before I get into this review from my previous not so pleasant experiences, I should probably put a big fat red spoiler alert right here before I delve into all the details of the drama, which I need to discuss to give this a more thorough and interesting review for you guys. So proceed with caution beyond this point. If you haven't seen this drama, head over to Netflix. I'll put a link in the description. But make sure to come back and watch this review and leave a comment on what you thought about it, because why else would I make this review for? If not to chat to you guys. With that said, I feel like I've already forgotten how I do these episodes because I haven't done one in a while. I think I normally go through the plot, the characters, the soundtracks, and then general production, and then some leftover miscellaneous fun or annoying things, right? Ooh, I also do my first and last episode drama checkity thing. And the reason I do that is because for me personally, the way you introduce a story and the way you conclude everything, you wrap everything up, make sure that there's no loose ends anywhere, are probably two of the most important things when it comes to storytelling. So I pay a lot more attention to the first and last episode rather than to whatever happens in between, with an exception that it still has to be interesting enough to get me to the ending and the last episode so I can watch it and judge it. And in the case of this drama, it totally did. There was a little rut around the episode of 11 or 12, but I'll talk about that when we get to the plot. The first and last episode of this drama were amazing. I loved them. The first episode had this perfect element of foreshadowing. I had to stop worrying that the main characters were gonna die anywhere before the ending of the drama because, well, it was showing us the ending of the drama at the very beginning, so I knew they were gonna stay alive, so I was like, phew. This episode also presented the central friendship of the drama to us in a really, really amazing way. I actually haven't seen that many Korean dramas that emphasize male friendships as well as this one did. It put that friendship at the pedestal, at the very front of the entire series in the very first episode, and we definitely knew that this was going to be the centerpiece of the drama, which it definitely ended up being in the end. In the last episode, it was probably the most heart-wrenching episode I've ever seen. I take my hat off for the writers for being brave and taking the chance of sticking to realism and really portraying how things would have ended up happening if this was a real story in life, rather than trying to protect the feeble little feelings of all the fans of the main characters who don't want to see their oppas die at the end of a drama. I take my hat off for you writers. Well done for killing off both of the main characters. I loved it. I thought it was such a brave move, but also so realistic, and that ending dying scene was just perfect. Was it a little bit long? Yeah, maybe. Was Sonho's monologue, a little bit too stretched out as he was dying and losing an enormous amount of blood from all the multiple stab wounds that he got? Yeah. Did I still enjoy it? Hell yeah. I think it was a nice little touch to add Huije right there outside of the, what are they called? I'm forgetting how to English. Gates? Watching into this distance and seeing he for the last time, seeing that he's going to die right now, and him flashing that amazing smile that he has and reassuring her that it's okay, he's done his purpose, he has fulfilled everything that he wanted to do in life, and he was content and satisfied. And like, just talking about it is so incredibly emotional. I loved that entire production. I know I'm getting so much into the production of things and I'm getting ahead of myself, but the last episode was absolutely beautiful, and I have yet to find a drama that really put me as a viewer at ease even though it killed off two main characters. Now that this drama has passed my first and last episode check, I can move on to the plot, which had its ups and downs. I had certain feelings about it at different parts of the drama. Sometimes it was very, very unpredictable and I loved it. I mean, that time Sono just got up and smacked Hee right onto his head in the middle of the exam that they had going on, and it was just such almost a jump scare moment that I literally screamed out loud when I watched it for the first time. It was super unpredictable. It was incredibly well done in a way where the portrayal of the deep feelings and the multifacetedness of Sono's character really came out there and really showed us where his priorities lied. But same thing with Yoni's amnesia. Could I even imagine that she was gonna get pushed and hit her head on a corner of a subsidity thing and get all her memories erased? No, that was very surprising. Was there any other historical dramas where people lost their memory? I think there has been. Remind me, guys. Comment section. Go. I need to remember. Whereas in other parts, I felt like this drama just followed the typical, stereotypical K-drama tropes where Yoni is being piggybacked by her brother and says, oh, I wish I'm going to grow into these shoes, these new pretty shoes that you bought for me. Like, girl, you just signed a death sentence for yourself by saying that. Obviously, she's ill, she's weak, she is poor. We knew how this was going to happen, but at the same time, it was very unpredictable for me that she actually lasted so long, having seizures, being hit in the head, just going through all these things and then still surviving and then living nicely and healthily. But yeah, this drama had a lot of mixture of predictable and somewhat unpredictable moments, which made it quite fresh and exciting and not boring at all until we reached episodes 11 and 12. And this is where the rut of the drama happened for me personally. My boyfriend actually also has been watching this drama. He's been getting more into K-dramas recently. I'm so happy. But he actually felt completely opposite to me. He thought that episodes 11 and 12 were very intense and he kind of didn't really know what I was talking about. But for me, I think I may have not really paid enough attention to all the little minute details that were happening and all these little conversations that people were having, and I missed the point of what was happening in those episodes. Like, the king was moving, and then Hije was setting fires, and then Hui was moving, and Donghan was plotting things, and he has his older brother who's also scheming things, and I just got overwhelmed and confused, and things were moving quite fast, but there was no variety in terms of what was happening. Every scene looked very, very similar. Speaking of that, what I really didn't like about this drama, and I have no idea how the writers or the director could have fixed that, I felt like actors were repeating monologues quite often, and this style of looking very intensely into the camera and lowering your voice and almost whispering and saying very dramatic things and then looking out into the distance and dramatic music playing everywhere in the background, that just got old. That was happening every 5 minutes throughout so many episodes that we just stopped feeling that intense feeling that you get during those scenes when they are nicely sprinkled throughout the entire series. I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say. Yes, it's nice when it happens like once per episode, but it happened like 20 times per episode, so I wasn't too excited about that. Now moving on to characters. Oh man, I have so much to say. I wrote it down on my phone. All right. Who do I start with? Let's start with some of the non-main characters. The king. Man, was he so chill. And also, I felt like he had a really bad character development. When he was first introduced to us, he was this very fresh and very unprecedented type of king who spoke freely to the underlings and let them talk. He approached He and spoke to him and had a little arrow shooting contest with him. Like, he seemed like a very progressive and very interesting character, but then as the drama evolved, he just turned into this senile old man who's just power hungry and wasn't really forward thinking as much. So that dissonance between his first appearance and his later kind of character throughout the drama was a little bit confusing for me. Also, speaking of his chillness, I guess it was within his original character that they showed us at the very beginning to be very open to speaking to his underlings casually and listening what they have to say, even if it's not that nice. But the way he allowed Hije to speak to him, I don't know what it was, episode 13, 14, whatever, she would have gotten hanged in real life or killed or tortured, or she wouldn't have been allowed to say these things to a king. He wouldn't have been okay with it. This did not look realistic to me. Prince Dong'an or Pangwon, it was one of the best characters in the drama. I loved the actor. I loved his presentation of the character. He was so torn and so battered on the inside. You can really see how the king's treatment of him, very unfair treatment to be fair, really affected him and scarred him and turned him into the monster that he eventually ended up being. Not the nicest, but just the best in terms of depth and emotions and heart-wrenchings and all those things. Speaking of emotions that are heart-wrenching and emotional and all that stuff, I felt like the supporting cast was just my favorite part of the drama. I say that about a lot of dramas because I feel like Koreans are really, really good with creating these comic relief supporting casts that just breathe fresh air into the drama and make it feel a little bit lighthearted at times when it's needed, but this was taken to another level in this drama. I loved how the writers weren't afraid to take the time from the episodes and really delve into their past, really delve into their characters, their development. They had their own little stories going on, which all got concluded. I loved that the big burly guy had a past where he killed his master and he was born a slave, and then Dong'an ends up burning his slave contract. It was just so endearing. And then obviously the guy with the bad teeth getting, married and having a baby. And oh my god, my favorite Chido, he was so cute. And when he smiled shyly when anybody talked about relationships around him, it was so adorable. And obviously him being very close to his father and like having all these circumstances, and there were just so many emotions. And I really am glad that the writers took the time to really develop these characters and not just have them as like a fun comedic relief. Now I guess the only characters that are left are the three main characters. Oh, actually I think Yoni requires a little mention. I thought she did great. I thought the actress was amazing. I don't think I've ever seen her in any other drama. I might be wrong, maybe I have, but I thought she was just so cute and adorable, and her acting was amazing. And I think Yoni's character in the drama could have been very kind of dull and boring and just like this little girl that constantly needs to rely on all these men in her life, but the actress, I feel like she really put this twist and spin on the character and really brought her to life, which I really appreciated. So Yoni, you get a nice honorable mention from me. Alright, now speaking of the main characters, Sonho was one of my favorites. I actually think I liked him more than I liked Hui and Huije, just because of how messed up he was, really. I don't know, I guess I have a thing for the underdog, but the way the actor portrayed this very vulnerable, very emotionally unstable, very scarred and insecure young man who just had all these grander ideas about his life that eventually kind of caused his demise, really. And that realization and rebirth almost at the very end of the drama, where he finally realizes his purpose in life and all these kinds of things, I just thought it was incredibly well written, obviously, but also executed and portrayed by the actor. I mean, I was a little bit blown away, not gonna lie. Okay, finally, I'm getting to Hui and Huije, whom I guess I liked them separately as characters. I just didn't like them together. No way. Did Margarita just say that she didn't like the main couple of a drama? But yeah, I did. I totally did. I hated it. I felt like their relationship was not really a relationship. They were just two people that, well, from Huije's, I can't pronounce her name, Huije. From her side, I know she claimed that she didn't feel like she was indebted to Hui because of what his father did by saving her and all that kind of stuff, but it kind of really felt like she was, and she was just lying to the both of them and not really being in touch with her feelings. I even didn't really see any feelings developing between them. Yeah, they've kissed, yeah, they've hugged a lot of times, but it just felt like they just needed somebody there for them because of all the hardships that they were going through, not that they needed that specific person there for them to make them feel better. You take one of them away, substitute them with another person, it would have been the exact same thing, because these people, the kind of people that they are, I don't think both of them were capable of being in a relationship, really. The purpose that they had in life clearly was not to be in a relationship. So I guess it's nice that they were supporting each other and being there for each other. I just didn't feel like there was any love or real feelings there between them. So I was kind of glad that there wasn't too much romance in there, because that would have been totally distracting and unnecessary. I don't know. Hide was too concerned with Iharu and their well-being. He was too concerned with all the other people, the dear people in his life. He's Nara, and everybody that he needed to protect and save, that they just were too busy with those things to really love each other. Which is okay. That happens. Would the drama have been totally okay if there was absolutely no love or romantic relationship between the two main leads? I think it would have. I don't think it added anything to the drama. So there's that for you guys to think about. Okay, soundtracks. I am really upset that there's only 3 official soundtracks for this drama. I wanted more. The 3 that they had were great. I already made a cover of one of them, which you guys can check out. It's gonna be in the cards. And yeah, I thought the main theme that combined this whole almost dubstep-y vibe with a beautiful melodic female voice and some historical instruments, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was super dramatic. The soundtracks got a 10 out of 10 from me. Hands down. Moving on. Production-wise, I mean, this was a Netflix original, I believe. So, I don't know, I kind of gotten used to the fact that Netflix has quite high production standards, which I could see in the costumes, in the shots, in the director choices of kind of where to film, how to position the shots, and I thought the cinematography was absolutely amazing. Color grading, all the kind of nitty-gritty of filmmaking was totally there. The sound was great, and yeah, I have absolutely nothing to complain about. Do I ever have anything to complain about in terms of cinematography of any dramas? I mean, probably not. Should I take this segment out? No, only if I'm gonna review some old dramas, then I'm gonna complain about cinematography. Oh my god, they did not know how to do CGI back then. Moving on to Miscellaneous, I actually don't have that many. One of those moments was when Sonho was in a burning house, and it was the sexiest moment of a drama, honestly. He was just like casually walking very slowly outside of a burning building. He was just so funnily confident and sexy and suave and slow motion and everything, where in reality he probably would have been like crawling out of there, gasping for fresh air and coughing out all of the smoke that was in the building. So I just thought it was hilarious how it was so unrealistic just to make the scene look sexy. But I mean, I'm not complaining. Another Miscellaneous thing that I absolutely loved is how the writers incorporated this very modern spy type of a scene where he had this whole underground like map of all the people that he needed to kill, with the strings being attached to each one of them in a big map with markings on it. Like, I just thought it was such a blast from the future type of moment where like, this kind of belongs in a spy movie, but I'm totally okay with this being in a 13th century Korean drama. Totally works. If you guys remember any other Miscellaneous moments that made you laugh or cry or you thought were unrealistic or funny, let me know. Leave a comment below and we'll talk about it. We will have a nice friendly discussion about this beautiful drama, and yeah, that is it for today. I will see you all very, very soon in my upcoming videos, and yeah, I hope you're all very happy and obviously healthy, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye! Annyeong!